Chapter 148. On the outskirts of the city, hundreds of kilometers from the city center, an abandoned factory lies silent in a deserted industrial area next to the edge of the forest. Inside the factory, in the observation room, two employees of Shaoling are silently observing a person in the laboratory. The Beast Girl is attentively observing through the protective glass and asks, "I wonder if this guy has enough perseverance to overcome?" The vampire guy next to her is also skeptical, not sure. In that laboratory, a frail man, chained by his hands and feet, is screaming in pain, his body exuding a dark breath. This is the first time that the Dark Organization has carried out genetic modification to create a second-order transcendent. The vampire guy is feeling troubled, because to carry out this genetic modification experiment, it really took a lot of effort. First, the Dark Organization had to use the essence of life to lure strong warriors, then they modified the genes of these warriors, of course, all using the powerful genes that the Dark Organization had collected, all very precious. Therefore, the vampire guy really does not want a failure. The man inside the laboratory suddenly screamed, his body seemed to be on fire. The Beast Girl immediately observed the indicators, and was horrified to exclaim, "The cell synthesis reaction process has overloaded. If it continues like this, he will die." But the vampire guy was still calm as if nothing happened. Even if he was worried and regretful if he failed, it was not enough to panic him. At this moment, the experimental man was still screaming fiercely, as if his body had reached the limit of pain. His mouth had begun to show sharp fangs, characteristic of beasts. Boom! The roof of the house had exploded. It was because the man had jumped up and destroyed the roof. The two employees of Shaoling were also shocked when they saw this. Does this mean that the experiment was successful? But does that guy intend to escape? Outside, only patches of dust were floating in the air, no one was seen. The dust gradually dissipated. This was the one who had successfully undergone the genetic modification experiment. Bare-chested and with long red hair, 2 cat ears had grown on his head, he was still standing still in that dust, as if he was feeling his body, a completely new body. From this perspective, we see that his appearance has completely changed. His face has scars like a tiger's stripes, his fangs have grown, his red eyes observe the night. In addition to the beast ears, his body also has many patches of animal fur. He has truly integrated animal genes into his body. But more than anyone else, he is the one who feels the most clearly. He feels lighter, full of strength, and his jumping ability is also very high. Whoosh! A beam of light shot out, an attack at supersonic speed, aimed straight at him. But this guy gently dodged, as if this attack was too simple. It can also be said, his reflex ability has reached a new height. In the air, he immediately searched for the attacker. Where is the enemy? His sharp eyes immediately plunged into the darkness and searched, and soon found a suspicious figure, indeed a great vision. This guy immediately counterattacked with a long-range slash. A faint red spiritual power beam shot out extremely fast and powerful, cutting across a patch of forest. Dozens of large trees were cut in half. This attack was aimed straight at Shaoling. She was the one who made the first move. When the attack was about to hit the target, a faint yellow spiritual power wall appeared, standing in front of Shaoling, neutralizing the experimental guy's attack. Shaoling smiled lightly, and how a sound, the experimental guy felt his pride rising. A woman showed that attitude to him, really unbearable. He angrily rushed up. The speed of this guy's movement was very fast. In an instant he had glided to Shaoling, but she did not dodge at all. She stood still there. She wanted to test the hardness of this new warrior. 2 employees of Shaoling stood in the yard of the factory. Looking at the fighting scene in the forest, they saw a series of powerful shocks echoing. At this time, the Beast Girl was a bit panicked. Cold sweat had flowed out. She did not expect that after this guy inherited the genes of the Blood Wolf, one of the mutant beast kings, he had become so powerful, he could fight on par with the master. The experimental guy was pushed back several tens of meters, sliding on the ground. Shaoling, holding a fire sword in her hand, stood on a tree, still calmly evaluating this new employee. The two looked at each other for a while, as if the space had fallen into silence. Then suddenly the two employees stepped forward and shouted loudly, "Greetings, Chairman." The wolf man heard the word chairman, then immediately had some doubts. Xiaoling, with a slightly excited and satisfied face, said loudly, "You are very strong, follow me in the future." Then, she threw the sword towards the wolf man and continued to say, "This is a sword made from the bones of a second-order transcendent blood wolf lord. It's for you. A treasure sword, just by looking at it, you can tell right away, the value of this sword is truly indisputable." The wolf man immediately picked up the sword, a very comfortable feeling, especially very suitable for his appearance. "Too wonderful," he said. "Thank you, Chairman." Xiaoling again ha a sound, but this time it was satisfaction. The night had fallen, the moon hung high, it seemed that there was no wind today, the whole forest was silent. Xiaoling stood on a high rock and cast her gaze far away. The employee next to her continued to report, "Misty Mountain will choose a trader every 3 days." Knowing this, the governments of various countries have also started to act. They are deploying forces to prevent the strong men of their country from approaching Misty Mountain. Xiaoling was not surprised, she was not worried either. She said, "It's okay, the government can't stop these strong warriors from coming here." Xiaoling continued to say, "The Federation is not suitable for us to develop. I plan to move the Dark Organization to smaller countries. According to my calculations, within half a year, our organization will develop several times more than now." The vampire guy listened to everything seriously, then decisively said, "I am willing to go first." Xiaoling calmly looked into the distance. A mysterious smile appeared on her face. At this time, at the headquarters of Misty Mountain, the lightning from the sky kept striking down. Elsewhere it was night, but here, the light shone like daylight. In the center of the lightning, Divine Tree was still in the process of upgrading. Suddenly Divine Tree opened his eyes. Naturally a little panicked, like oversleeping for school. Divine Tree hurriedly asked, "How long have I been asleep?" Nine Tails replied, "A month and a half." Divine Tree calculated a bit. Very quickly, he would advance to 4th order, so it was time to use this thunder flower. But looking to the side, a dragon egg was soaking in a pool full of life essence. Divine Tree muttered, "You should hatch too, you're a bit slow." Then, Divine Tree decided to split the 2 thunder flowers, giving half to the dragon egg. Very quickly, the dragon egg began to absorb this precious half flower. Divine Tree did the same, but as soon as Divine Tree ate it, the system immediately announced that the conditions for adding a new skill were met. That is Thunder Collection. The system asked whether to activate or not. Divine Tree has never refused anyone before, so he clicked yes. Then he upgraded the skill to level 4 in one go. The system announced talent, control lightning, freely manipulate violent thunder. Divine Tree immediately began to imagine the process of using this skill in combat. The result was too dangerous for teammates. But he didn't know if increasing this skill would speed up Divine Tree's evolution process. The only way to know is to continue the evolution process. Then, Divine Tree ordered Nine Tails to take everyone out of this area until he finished evolving. Perhaps, this process would be dangerous for everyone nearby. And so, lightning struck down from the sky again. Divine Tree shone brightly like a Christmas tree at night. But this time the lightning strike from above seemed more crude. The lightning spread to the surrounding area. No wonder Divine Tree told Nine Tails to take everyone far away. Nine Tails looked at this lightning, couldn't help but exclaim, "This lightning is enough to kill a first-order transcendent beast." Yet Divine Tree endured it for a month and a half. It's horrifying. Nine Tails looked to the side, saw the innocent face of White Tiger also watching the lively scene in front of him. Nine Tails immediately got angry and yelled, "White Tiger, where is the dragon egg?" Damn it, White Tiger suddenly remembered, he forgot. He screamed in panic, "Everyone will die. It's really urgent, there's no time to punish this stupid White Tiger." Nine Tails hurriedly flew away, at all costs to get the dragon egg out. She flew while cursing, brain dead. While White Tiger regretted, standing behind crying bitterly. End of chapter 148.